think we're live. Um, we got a lot going on this morning. Uh, we're missing my co-host. So let's see if I can get everything going correctly. Give me a second. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Darcy. Good morning, Jeff. Oh, you sound a little under the weather today. You look a little odd. You feeling okay? I'm okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll let you be a little quiet today. Um, I don't know if anybody's tuned in. I can't check things very well. It's getting a little. Let's see. It says top chat. So if somebody can hear me, that'd be great. I'm gonna type in there. Well, that's not coming over on the other screen, so that's not a good sign. But oh, it's probably because it's in the wrong stream. Ooh. So let's go back here, and if we click this one, yes, yeah, I'm on my own today, Craig. I got it. I kind of got it going now. I was in a different stream, I guess. You're busy at work. Oh no, that's that's not good. But we got Grandma. Grandma's gonna she's gonna be our moderator today. Uh, so yeah, Darcy, she decided she had enough of me and she quit. So I guess I'm just gonna run her likeness. She did give me permission that if I drew her likeness that I'd be allowed to use it. So I gotta adjust me. So I look a little bigger. Oh, now I'm really big. Too tall, too tall. Come back down. There we go. No, she's traveling. She had some of the flight delays and cancellations that people are experiencing. So she was hoping she could make it, but she found out yesterday that she was not going to be able to. She had trouble on both directions of the flight, so that wasn't good for her. Um, but I just thought it was a fun title. We were going to cancel, but then I decided that I'd give it a whirl without her and see how it goes. I'm sure it'll be less enjoyable. I won't have anybody to talk to. There's probably going to be a lot of dead time, and I'm already starting off bad because it took me pretty much the last 20 minutes to draw this picture with paint and a mouse. Now, there was some time where I tried to get my drawing tablet out, but I haven't had it out for a few months. And so it didn't go so well. And I ended up with this. So I think it looks like her. It's pretty close. I'm pretty proud of it. I even got some eyeballs in there. I was almost gonna go with just white eyes, but then that was really, really creepy. So yeah, that's what we got. So getting into it, I don't know what we're gonna cover. There's a lot of news in general that I've seen. We have some, I think, web pictures, but I don't want to show those off without Darcy. So when she comes back next week, we'll show those. So we won't do space because she really likes space. And she likes animals, but we have to do animals because everybody likes animals. We can do my favorite. Let's see what's going on in the crypto market. Still about the same. Maybe a little lower than it was the other day. I don't remember what it was. Yeah, I mean, it's been bouncing between 0.92 and 0.86. So Bitcoin's at 19,000. Ethereum's at 1,000. So do we got any news? Let's see. We got to go to explore. Where is it? I'm not seeing it. Oh. No. There's usually like a little button like right around in here. And now I got this. But they usually let you go to more. What do we got here? Highlights, if I turn this off. No. Oh well, this is boring. So we'll talk more about that on Wednesday. Let's see what we got in. Let's see, science. Sorry for the live searching. Oh, for students? No, we don't want for students. We want science news and tech. Let's see. Ooh, this will be cool because then the first time that we read the article, I won't get banned from it when I try to show you guys. So we'll get to see some of the mean sites articles. Let's see what Science Tech Daily has. I think this is one of our main ones. Is that zoomed in? Yeah. Oh, there's not going to be anybody that says, thanks, Grandma, for my good picture. Yeah, I don't know what to say about it. But yeah, this site we like. This site usually has some decent stuff. Let's see what we got in technology. Oh, we got an ad. Oh, major breakthrough puts dream of unlimited clean nuclear fusion within reach. Old joke, nuclear fusion is 30 years away. Yeah. But, I mean, there's lots of nuclear plants out there that are in use right now. Just probably better ones, smaller ones, more efficient. Stronger security for smart devices. Oh, that's definitely needed. If you didn't know, most smart devices are pretty open and can be hacked pretty easily by anybody that cares to read. And I'm trying to watch chat too, so just if you guys do post in chat, it may be a second before I respond. An electronic tattoo offers highly accurate continuous blood pressure monitoring. That's really interesting. So let's look at that. Blood pressure is one of the most important indicators of heart health, but it's tough to frequently and reliably measure outside of a clinical setting. For decades, cuff-based devices that constrict around the arm to give a reading have been the gold standard, but now researchers at the University of Texas, UT, University of Texas at Austin, make sure you get it right, and Texas A&M have developed an electronic tattoo that can be worn comfortably on the wrist for hours and deliver continuous blood pressure measurements at an accuracy level exceeding nearly all available equipment on the market today. Blood pressure is, yeah, we know that. We just read that. Yeah, can lead to serious heart conditions if you have high blood pressure. Sounds more like a sticker than a tattoo. The e-tattoo. So talk about it. E-tattoos make sense as a vehicle for mobile blood pressure monitoring since they reside in a sticky, stretchy material encasing sensors. Yeah, it's a sticker, but that's still cool. So they got something where all their little electronics can sit inside the sticker and monitor your blood pressure for hours on end, which is very important for people that would need that. So that's pretty cool. It's interesting if you think about how some things that we've used in the medical area have been the same for 20 or 30, maybe even 40 years. Mm, like the blood pressure monitoring thing. And now they got the new oxygen thing where they just stick it under your finger. I thought that was kind of weird at first. I was like, how in the world is this monitoring oxygen in your blood? But then when I started seeing it in the doctor's offices all the time, I was like, oh, okay. Guess it works. Something I don't understand. New photonic material could enable ultra-fast light-based computing. That's cool. Demystifying the dark art of electrolyte design for next generation batteries. We can absorb toxic chemicals from the air. Yeah, new breakthrough. Is that Perxovite? I forget how to say that. The new material for solar cells. Well, it's not new, but newly manufactured. Teaching physics to an AI can allow it to make new discoveries on its own. Yeah, that's cool. Let's go out of tech. What do we got in science? We'll go to Earth. Oh, biology. Let's just start at the beginning. Gut bacteria 5,000 times bigger than normal discovered in Guadalupe mangroves. Oh, giant bacteria, gut bacteria. Oh my gosh. What do you got going on over there, Darcy? Okay. Microscopic mites that. Oh yeah, I saw this one. Microscopic mites that mate on our faces at night may soon become one with humans. So, yeah, there's this little mite that's on our face, I guess, and they mate. I don't know, at night. Only at night, I guess. I guess they only like it when it's dark. Maybe they're a little bit shy. Microscopic mites that live in human pores and mate on our face at night are becoming such simplified organisms due to their unusual lifestyles that they may soon become one with humans, according to new research findings. A little gross. The mites are passed on during birth from mother to child. Oh, thanks, Mom. And are carried by almost every human, with numbers peaking in adults as the pores grow larger. They measure around wow, that's pretty big, 0.3 millimeters, and are found on the hair follicles, are found in the hair follicles on the face and nipples, including eyelashes, and eat sebum naturally released by cells in the pores. They become active at night and move between follicles looking to mate. That's so creepy and gross. Oh, I don't know if I wanted to just read that. You know, you can't unlearn what you learn. That's bad. That's bad. The first ever genome sequencing of D. fullericum mite found in their isolated existence and resulting inbreeding is causing them to shed unnecessary genes and cells and move towards a transition from external parasites to internal symbionts. Huh. So what's an internal symbiont for those that may not know? We're going to Google it. If anybody in chat wants... Oh, yeah. Oh, washing the face with rubbing alcohol. Can't sleep tonight. Wow. Yeah, this is interesting. Endosymbiosis is a symbiotic relationship in which one symbiont lives within the tissue of the other, either within that doesn't help it. That really didn't help from going from a parasite to that. So yeah, I'm good. I don't want to know anymore. So Oh, this one's cool. 419 million-year-old Chinese fossil shows human middle ear evolved from fish gills. That that would actually kind of make sense. Think of where the gills are in a fish, and we came from being, fish and whatever, over a long, long time. So our ears are where our gills used to be. That's pretty cool. That makes sense. I mean, it would make sense according to how we're kind of shaped and stuff. The human middle ear, which houses three tiny vibrating bones, is key to transporting sound vibrations into the inner ear, where they become nerve impulses that allow us to hear. Embryonic and fossil evidence proves that human middle ear evolved from the spiracle of fishes. I don't know. However, the origin of the vertebrate spiracle has long been unsolved mystery in the vertebrate evolution. Some 20th century researchers believe. I was gonna send you this the other day. Oh, this one about the fossil in the ear? Cool. See? Now we got people helping us, yay! But it's just our moderator. Maybe Grandma will send an article next. I'm sure she will. Now, well, no, she'll be like, "How do I send you an article?" And I'll be like, that's a good question. Craig was just going to use my regular email, but we do have an official email that I'll have to look up. I think it's YouTube at pretendingtoprogram.tech, but I'll have to double check that. So right now you can send it to YouTube at pretendingtoprogram.tech, and it may or may not be a real email address, but you can give it a try. You won't know. I mean, maybe you'll get a bounce back, but it may just go into nothing. Who knows? Now, however, scientists from the Institute of Vertebrate Paleontology and Paleoanthropology okay, of the Chinese Academy of Sciences and their collaborators have found clues to the mystery from armored glassbid fossils in China. Cool. And they got some kind of 3D image, and it looks kind of cool. And there's some pictures of fossils, and the fossils kind of show some evolution stuff. It says many important structures of human beings can be traced back to our fish ancestors, such as our teeth, jaws, middle ears, etc. Well, yeah. So, have you ever seen the paku fish? Ball biters? Yeah, those things are, I think they're just paku fish, maybe. But those things, they live in Lake Michigan, and they got like human little teeth, I think. Those are the ones. Let's see. Paku. Yeah, so they got the little human teeth. They're an invasive species. That's why they're in Lake Michigan. I forget where they're from. Some places in Asia, I think. Not sure. I forget. But yeah, they're a little scary. That's where Grandpa's teeth went to, because he lost his teeth one time. And then he started a whole breed of fish, and then they went and migrated to Lake Michigan. They started here, and then they moved to Lake Michigan. So, the spiracle is a small hole behind each eye that opens to the mouth in some fishes. In sharks and all rays, the spiracle is responsible for the intake of water into the buccal space before being expelled from the gills. Cool. Man, you would think, I guess you do run out of words eventually, but that'd be cool to write the articles in, like, that little space behind the other space, or, more like the thingy, or kind of cooler words. Or more easy to read. I don't know if they'd really be cooler. Cool. Using a lot of cools. But oh well. That's what happens when you don't have a co-host. It's Does it keep you in line? Right? Just so weird looking over there. It's just as funny though. I can't look over at the side screen that I run all the broadcasting software on, and like animes and Discord and stuff like that. But I don't normally look over there because her avatar is usually just acting all wonky. I'm sure mine is, but mine doesn't seem to exaggerate the facial expressions quite as much. But I guess when you're only a face, that's all you can do. But it's so funny. So I don't usually look over, and even looking over at the silly pictures is funny. Hold on, got something in my eye. So yeah, because I don't normally see us in the corner of my main screen. We're doing cool little computer tricks, green screens and everything. We've been pretty fancy for a while over here. A shortcut to preventing cancer. A new theory suggests that mutations have few straightforward ways to establish themselves in cells. Scientists discover largest plant on Earth, estimated to be 45. Oh, that sounds interesting. Largest plant. They didn't say oldest, but it also happens to be 4,500 years old. Australian scientists believe they discovered the world's biggest plant. They estimate it's at least 4,500 years old. The ancient, and the scientists, wow. The ancient, incredibly resilient seagrass stretching across 112 miles was located by researchers. How would that be hard to locate? All right. The discovery of the single plant or clone of the seagrass in the shallow, sun-drenched waters of the World Heritage Area of Shark Bay in Western Australia is detailed in a new study. How many different plants are grown in seagrass meadows? And this time we use genetics tools to answer it. What is that? Oh, that's the picture of it. That's pretty cool. Shark Bay. That doesn't sound very friendly. What does everyone think? You want to go swimming in Shark Bay? Don't think it got its name for its friendly manta rays. The answer blew us away. There was just one. That's it. Just one plant has expanded over 180 kilometers. That seagrass has just been living there for a really long time, just growing away. The single plant may be in fact sterile. It doesn't have a sex. How it survived and thrived for so long is really puzzling. The plants don't have sex, so they tend to have reduced genetic diversity, which they normally need when dealing with environmental change. Makes sense. Our seagrass has seen its fair share of environmental change. It's experienced huge range of average temperatures from 17 to 30 degrees Celsius. So let's see. '62 to 86. Wow. We've really warmed up the ocean. It must have been, man, it must have been really cold. Just think about that. They didn't have like solutions for hypothermia and things like that, and they're out there on the ocean. And the ocean actually was 20 some degrees colder than it is now. So we're talking about over in this area of Australia where it's right now 80s. Let's just say it's like the water's 80s. And you go swimming and you've been swimming there for most of your life and it's been like 80s. Maybe even down like high 70s. Then you go back to when people were sailing it in wooden boats and dealing with it. It was cold. And then if it wasn't really like other areas that aren't that warm Australia, it must have been really, really cold water. So I don't know. They must have been a lot tougher. Well, we know they were a lot tougher probably, but that's probably why they sometimes died. I was listening to something interesting, and it wasn't so much that they didn't have older aged people. It wasn't like you couldn't get to old age. It was just hard to get there. There, I forget what area of the world it was, but if you got past like 35 or 40, the coast to 70 was easy. But getting to 35 or 40, very few people even made it. So it was kind of like if you got it to the one point, then you were good to go. So I wonder if you had to go swimming in the ocean for a long time and then you were good to go. I wonder if you looked at people that lived along coasts about their average lifespan, like that type of metric where you would be looking to see if there was a point where maybe it was easier for them to get to that golden age where they had it easier and could survive. But then maybe the older people that were going from 40 to 70 weren't really doing anything. They didn't go on adventures anymore. So then, it kind of makes sense. You just hung around town and you you didn't have as high of a chance of dying, I guess. I don't know. So this plant has made it for a really long time, just staying out of the way of everybody, adjusting to the sea temperature. It's pretty cool. Must be in a spot where like no hurricanes or any kind of major water disturbances come. Yeah, and could wash themselves. Oh, oh yes, yes. That is something that I think Grandma remembers when we went to the Pilgrim Plantation in Boston. Well, in Plymouth, and they talked about how when the settlers came, they didn't ever wash themselves for like 6 months because they like sewed themselves into their clothes, and then they talked about how the Native Americans, we thought that it was like pretty gross, and we always washed ourselves in like flower petals and like just different plants that smelled good and things like that. Just think about that. There was probably like no girls that wanted any of the settlers. I'm sure there was, of course some, but or maybe they do like the stinky stuff, and they were ready for a change, but I don't know. It sounded like the settlers were pretty gross when they came over, just because of what they had to do to wear their clothes and do their stuff. Yeah, yeah, Grandma remembers. So yeah, let's close this tab. I got too many tabs. It's hard to navigate when you don't have them all pre-staged. Let's get rid of my crypto tab. Oh, so all right, that's a cool plant, seagrass. Yeah, some seagrass is pretty hardy, or seaweed. Um, it's the largest ever family tree for primates. Neuroscientists discover new factors behind better vision. For somebody that's wearing glasses their whole life. Plastic pollution in the ocean may harbor novel antibiotics. Interesting. Let's see this one. Because I'm also interested in computer vision, so um, that's where they didn't talk about that. The Google Sentient. We're gonna call it sentient because it's not, but it's just fun to make it be sentient. The Google Sentient. Oh, what was its name? Lambda. So it's been named Lambda. So we'll just call it from now on. If you're new to this channel, last week we talked about Google's sentient AI that they have that is now like starting wars and doing. No, I'm just joking. It's just answering questions and doesn't want to be tested on. But its name's Lambda. From now on, Lambda is now going to be officially just called Lambda. So I wonder if Lambda has some sort of cameras. I'm sure that Lambda would know how to use cameras because it could learn if it didn't know. But then I wonder if it would really know how to use them. That'd be interesting to see. So, neuroscientists, what are they doing? Blah, blah, blah. We have found out that we can predict how well someone can see based on the unique structures of their primary visual cortex. Oh, awesome. By showing that individual variation in the structure of the human visual brain is linked to variation in visual functioning, we can better understand what underlies differences in how people perceive and interact with their visual environment. Oh, is that it's not really so much being able to see well like 20/20 vision, it's how people are interpreting the visual, like what's the visual representation of what they're seeing in their brain. As with fingerprints, the bumps and grooves on each person's brain surface are unique. However, the significance of these differences is not fully understood. Yeah, that's why you're studying it. The primary visual cortex, V1, is arranged into a map of the image projected from the eye. Okay, yeah, here's where we're getting into it. Okay, so V1 is arranged into a map of the image projected from the eye. But like many kinds of maps, it's distorted, with some parts of the image enlarged compared to others. Oh, that's interesting. I know people that like see certain things better than others. Link's mom, she definitely notices things about people really, really well. And so that would be interesting if certain aspects of people are like when it maps onto her brain, that just the way that like, people map, right? Because I'm sure it's probably a repeatable process. And that maybe different aspects of them map larger than others. So then, and I wonder if you can, if you train your way, because like she would notice different jewelry and people missing earrings and rings and just weird, like cool weird stuff. But it was definitely something that I never noticed, and a lot of other people didn't notice until they pointed it out. So just so that's kind of interesting that that could change the way you perceive things. V1 also enlarges locations to the left or right where our eyes are fixating relative, yeah. So then that could be differences in arrangement of the tissue. Using an fMRI, scientists map the primary visual cortex size of more than 24 humans, and then they made them look at a lot of stuff, and the results showed that differences in the V1 surface area could predict measurements of people's contrast sensitivity. Yeah, I mean that's if you think of image processing. If you've ever looked into how computers do image processing, I think it's just really contrast sensitivity, and I'd be the way to describe it. So seeing detail or not detail, and then trying to make sense of the differences in the shades out of that detail. In some, the more local V1 surface area dedicated to encoding a specific location, the better the vision at that location. Yep, it's really interesting. That's cool. That's cool scientist work. What was that other scientist work we were talking about last week? Does anybody remember that we thought was super boring? I already forgot about it because of how boring it sounded. Oh, watching a bubble. That's what it was. Waiting for a bubble to pop. This would be way better. Way better than waiting for a bubble to pop. I know they probably have lots of bubbles. Oh, I've been getting into speaking of things that look cool. Somehow I started getting across my YouTube feed like these two people that deal with venomous snakes in their older videos. I mean, a couple, oh, they probably have passed away from the venom snakes, but they Or like raising baby cobras and they have like spitting cobras. It's pretty cool. I don't know why I said that, but it was pretty cool. Watching different videos. So let's see what else we got. Oh, it's break time. Darcy's usually my break monitor. So we're gonna take a 5-minute break, and then we'll be back. So just give me a sec. Let's go over to here. It looks so bad that she left me. I'm gonna have to change that title. I gotta get some clickbait, right? Gotta figure out how to get some viewers somehow. Let's see, music. There we go. All right, tell him some jokes, Darcy. So how were the jokes? Were they just as good as when she's normally here? Burn. I'm sure they were better. Sure, they were better. Ha ha ha! Double bird. Oh, so much fun. So much fun. It's actually not fun making fun of people when they're not able to fire something back. Um, let's see, what do we got? Wow, we've been on this one for a while. Let's see. Chemistry, earth, health, physics, science. Let's go to a different site. Oops. Let's see, nature. Nature, natural selection. Isn't it Science Daily? Wasn't that Science and Tech Daily a minute ago? Nature World News. What we got here? Storms place 50 million Americans at risk in the Northeast this weekend. I'm glad that blew past us. That was our last night. So eventually people will be able to track down right where we're at. They listen to all our videos. Like and subscribe while you're listening to all our videos. Right? Oh, yeah, Darcy made us a cool new picture too. We got a new thumbnail for our generic ones, and we don't have any other ones. It's pretty cool. It helps us with the like and oh no, it should say like and subscribe on it. I'll have her add that. Then we'll show it off because it does fit with trying to encourage people to sign up. Let's see. Great white shark shreds. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Let's not read that one. Man survived. Wow, what the heck? Animals are not doing well to this week. They're having a bad week. I'm sure they don't like fireworks. Makes them nervous. Puts them on edge. Ugliest. Ron's on edge already. Ugliest thing ever. A mysterious deep sea creature leaves fishermen in awe. Ugh, that one is kind of scary. I don't want to look at that anymore. Swarms of biblical proportions ravage crops in the American. Okay. Animals are just a little unhinged. I guess it's summertime. You know, they've been cooped up all winter long and they just need to get out. So, be careful out there, humans. The animals and insects are on a rampage. We should unite. See, we're always infighting and fighting amongst ourselves. We need to unite against the animals and the insects. I think we've already done a good job of taking care of them. New discovery reveals why octopus are smarter than your average invertebrates. This isn't new, people. This isn't new. We should not at all do anything with octopuses. Let them be. They're insanely smart creatures. Mysterious shipwreck from World War II. Tadpoles' eyes undergo numerous changes through physical metamorphosis. Let's look at this one. Because I know my mom, she does tadpole stuff. Like, takes it in for her class and things like that. Tadpoles have a good Tadpoles have a good underwater vision. I don't know if A needs to be in there. However, what tends to happen when they develop into frogs and spend most of their time on land? In a search for the solution, scientists from York University, see, I'm just adding in words and suggesting that they need to take out. Horrible. And a number of other institutions discovered that tadpoles' eyes go through an unexpectedly large lot of changes. Using eyes incorporated on their tails, blind tadpoles have rediscovered their vision. No way, that's sweet. Using eyes incorporated on their tails, blind tadpoles have rediscovered their vision. Such eyes developed new interconnection to the tadpole's nervous system with the aid of migraine medication. What? That is crazy. We're going to go look at that one real quick. According to the research team, the same strategy might help the body integrate bioengineered body parts in humans. What? This totally is just crazy. Teens from all over the community have already developed simpler organs like tracheas and bladders inside the lab and incorporated them into human beings. Okay. Currently, they're continuing to work more complex organs like eyes and hearts. For these to function, the organs would need to be linked to the central nervous system. Now, that brings a new meaning to having eyes in the back of your head. You know, if you can bioengineer eyes that can link up, like you got a little mask that you wear in the back of your head that kind of mounts them back there. Like, we'll call it just a mount. It wouldn't be so much a mask. And then they're real eyes, but then they have like their electrical signals wired up to your brain. And this is crazy. Crazy. I bet the sentient, I bet Lambda is the one that's behind all this. Tadpoles undergo a physical transformation in their sense to becoming frogs, but how their own vision adapts at the molecular. Wow, this isn't going to roll off my tongue today. Let me swallow. Get a drink of water. It's just for molecular. Molecular level throughout the various life stages to a noticeably different environment was unknown. This is awesome. This is cool research. Bubble popping, still not cool. That is going to be my threshold of boring research. Waiting for a bubble to pop. So that's almost like the oh, I just thought of this because we hadn't mentioned the mushroom overlords for a little while. I wonder if they would team up with Lambda. That would be really useful for Lambda to team up with the mushrooms, because then Lambda would be able to communicate with them, since Lambda would be able to send electrical signals. So that's kind of interesting. That's really interesting. So then Lambda and the tadpoles and the mushrooms have also teamed up, so then they can bioengineer different body parts onto different things. It's getting insane here. We're gonna be like totally labeled as like a conspiracy thing. Well, we could be. That's okay. Darcy's like, no, you can't just let the channel go to hell for one day of me missing. It already did. It did. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. They discovered that 42% of the genes in tadpoles' eyes changed or had their expression patterns when they turned into frogs. Wow, that one was pretty cool. I was watching a video last night about how I believe it was a temple in India that, oh man, what was the name of it? Is it that one? Sorry for scrolling so fast. Oh, let's see. Hold on a second. I need to open a new tab. I don't want to lose this one. Is this the temple? Nope. Ah. I don't think this one's it either. Nope. But the reason I'm bringing up this temple is because that people were doing bioengineering way back then too. They had, or at least they were thinking about it. I don't think this one's it. No, that one's definitely not it. That's not it either. That one's not it. Ooh, this one may be it. I think this one's it. Due to its dangling, blah blah. But they had depictions of bioengineered elephants with various different other animals, I believe, and then humans too. And it's really interesting that, yeah, it could just have been art, but then at the same time, where in the world were they thinking about this? And like the liger, the tiger lion thing, that was actually done before we started doing it again, I think. So I'm not gonna waste time for people finding it. If we want to talk more about it, we can put in chat. We can talk more about it. But so bioengineering hasn't isn't anything new. As we're just better at it now with modern technology. That's all I was saying. So that's pretty cool. I like that. That was a really cool one. Let's see what else we got. Let's see, animal news. Let's go with the animal news. Gold Rush Stables employee charged with animal cruelty. Yeah, you gotta watch out for those videos these days. You can't just go around beating animals. You should never shut up. It's so nice that there's cameras for everything. I mean, just be a good person, and you don't have to worry about the stupid cameras catching you doing something bad. Ooh, they got categories here. What do we want to do? Is there a... We got wildlife, invasive species, monkeys, insects, fish, cats. Let's do birds. I like birds personally. I like cats and dogs too, but I really like birds. Wingspan. I play a board game Wingspan. And if you don't like birds or think you don't like birds, play Wingspan. It's if you like board games. If you don't like board games, you won't like birds. Definitely playing that. But it's a really, really good board game. And then on top of it, it's got some awesome pictures and information about birds. And so that's really made me like them more because then it's like, oh, I've seen that bird. And then I've seen some really, really cool birds just driving around. And you're like, oh, look at that one bird. And it's so different than the rest of the regular, normal, boring birds. I could be a bird watcher. That'd be all right. But then I'd probably talk too much, so I wouldn't be able to be quiet and the bird would get scared away. Except for geese. I do not like geese. That's the one bird that's not allowed to be liked. Baby geese, adult geese, all geese. All right. No. Don't do this to me. Live Science, I think, is the one that bans us. Demon Duck of Doom laid melon-sized eggs. Wow, that just sounds cool. So let's go to this Demon Duck of Doom. I think Wingspan, yeah, you and your PC ruins everything. You know, you just ruined Gloomhaven. You probably are ruining Jaws. You can play everything on PC. They're all on there. Yeah, you should practice up at Everdell though. That one I won't. I'll let you practice on it because then it'll make me better at it. So, play that one on PC. Scientists have finally cracked a 41-year-old mystery about an ancient eggshell from a large extinct terrestrial bird with a demonic nickname. In 1981, researchers in Australia discovered the charred remnants of numerous eggs from several cooking fires used by prehistoric humans dating to about 50,000 years ago. Some of the eggs were identified as those of emus, but a few oversized specimens belong to a second unknown bird. For years, scientists argued about the identity of the large bird. But given the egg's size and age over time, two contenders emerged. Pergora, a group of large turkey-like birds, or Geonorsis, sometimes referred to as demon ducks of doom. I bet they take out geese. That is for sure. I want a demon duck of doom to control my geese population. Because of their huge size and evolutionary relation to the smaller waterfowl. Just their huge size gives them demon duck. That's so funny. I wonder if they had attitudes. Because like ducks are pretty chill. They're pretty nice. We had a pet duck that got taken out. Well, its eggs got taken out by a raccoon. We watched the raccoon go for like seconds and thirds on this poor duck nest that we watched the poor mama duck raise forever. It was so sad. Oh my gosh. So this duck stood 6.5 feet tall. That is a big and 530 pounds. Oh wow, that would be so scary. Nah, I'll deal with the geese myself. That is a 6'5", 530-pound duck of beak, bones, feather-clad muscle. Well, that didn't work. That's funny. So, fittingly, these mega ducks also laid large eggs and weighed around 3.5 pounds, about the size of a melon. Genorsis huge eggs would have been an ideal source of protein for indigenous Australian people, provided they could safely collect them from big birds' nests. In fact, scientists now suspect that humans' appetite for the melon sized eggs may have helped drive Genorsis to extinction, according to the Natural History Museum. Wow. That is a big bird. Hmm. Yeah, they have to have big eggs to make that big of a bird. That's cool. That is really cool. Hmm. So, demon duck. Sorry, I didn't mean to scroll to the top. The big old lizard taking out. This doesn't do it justice. So how big is this lizard? If this thing's 6.5 feet tall, 200 or 530 pounds, this thing's like huge. What, like 25, 30 feet? Because I mean, this is about that, and then it's 2.5 times it. So about 20. Yeah, about 25 feet, 20, 25 feet. Probably like 1,000 pound lizard. Crazy. Big bird. All right. All hail the hen. Chickens were revered for centuries before they were food. Meet the robot keeping an eye on the emperor penguins in Antarctica. Oh, this is cool. This robotic penguin observer is changing the way scientists monitor wildlife. A yellow robot named Echo is helping scientists in Antarctica to keep tabs on some of the continent's penguin residents. The four-wheeled robot is part of a 30-year-long program that launched in 2017 to monitor the health of the Antarctic. What is that? Like a shield to protect it? Is to remove any human presence from the human. Yeah, that's cool. That's exactly what robots should be used for. To make Echo a perfect penguin, equipped it with yeah, a bunch of cool stuff. Yeah, for example, the radio frequency antenna scans tiny RFID tags that yeah, cool. So they can figure out where their penguins are. So yeah, this is all really easy, cool stuff that computers could programmed, like super easy to do. The hardest part's just like trying to not get your robot stuck. That's it. I think the software and everything to do it isn't hard to write. And all the tech's there. We've had the tech for years. Blah blah blah. They have no natural predators in Antarctica, so they are good study subjects for scientists looking to understand how animals are affected by ecosystem fluctuations caused by climate change. Cool. That one's cool. Biggest eagle to ever live plunged headfirst into dead prey to eat the organs. That's cool. Birds are pretty mean things. How do birds survive dinosaur killing asteroid? Critically endangered condor. Giant birds could eviscerate you. People were raising them. Oh, these giant birds could eviscerate you. People were raising them 18,000 years ago. The world's most dangerous bird. Yeah. I don't know if I'd raise it if it was that dangerous. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Failed to consider the world's most dangerous bird, the cassowary. New research suggests that the relationship between humans and cassowaries dates back to the late Pleistocene. This is where Darcy needs to be here. Pleistocene area, several thousand years before humans domesticated chickens and geese. Yeah, see, there was always something there. And this is not the same fall. It is huge, ordinary, flightless bird that can eviscerate you. Most likely the dwarf variety weighed 44 pounds. Um, they would have kept the eggs, so basically they're using them as chickens to either eat or to raise other birds for meat and feathers. Oh, there's a cool snake video. These things, is that real? See, now we don't know if pictures are real or not with Dolly. That's not fair. Well, we always didn't know, but now Dolly can, you can just type in whatever and it'll make it. Wow, that's a pretty bird. Um, wow. Huh. What is this? What, I need to find the words right before this. Known as balat, the dish is made with duck eggs today. Oh, yeah, Andy eats this. But Douglas and her team suggest that people in New Guinea may have been eating cassowary balat thousands of years ago. Or they may have been raising cassowary chicks. Like geese, cassowary chicks imprint on the first creature they see. That makes them oddly ideal for human rearing, a practice that continues in parts of New Guinea to this day. University, through Douglas and her team, did not find evidence of ancient people penning cassowaries. It is something they plan to look for in the future. Cassowaries and their eggs are valuable resources for New Guineans. The upper part of the bird's leg was used to fashion bone daggers. Their feathers are prized ornamentation, and the birds remain an important source of meat. But these striking birds, which can reach nearly 6 feet tall and 120 pounds, are incredibly dangerous. They have these really large 4-inch claws, and if they feel threatened, they will use them. A frightened territorial cassowary can lash out with a kick powerful enough to eviscerate a medium-sized or even human-sized mammal. Vertebrate, wow. They do occasionally kill humans, including a man in Florida who was lethally attacked by a cassowary he kept on his farm in 2019. Oh, that's too bad. He'd be like me. He'd be like, "Oh, that bird's cool," and then it'd just kill you. Even so, except for I don't think I could deal with birds. They're kind of gross. Like for taking care of them. I think. No, they may not be. Even so, these instances are exceedingly rare. Okay, cool. It's a pretty bird though. Very pretty. It doesn't look 6 feet tall. It's some tall grass if it is. But those do look like some big giant feet claws. All right. Trash parrots have been hanging out with the trash pandas. So we got wild cockatoos that figured out how to open up garbage lids in Australia. That's awesome. Let's look at some other animals. What do we got? Any votes? Give it like 10 seconds. Nope. Okay. Well, let's do spiders because they're creepy. Male spiders drum out mesmerizing syncopated beats to woo mates. These male spiders use built-in legs. Oh yeah, we already talked about that one. Spiders hunt in packs. It's funny, see? Oh, these are old. Yeah. Oh, nothing new on spiders. Let's go with some cats. They don't have dogs. That's so funny. 20,000 years ago, two American cheetahs fought to the death in a Grand Canyon cave. Oh, that's the best. Oh, they found some bones and they're like, yep, this is what happened. Cats can memorize their friends' names. What? Cats may be able to remember the names of cohabitating cats, but it depends on where they live. Ah, that's kind of cool. Let's look at that. Your cat may not come when she's called, but that doesn't mean she's not listening. Recent studies suggest that domestic cats share some of the same language recognition skills commonly seen in dogs. In a 2019 article in the journal Scientific Reports, also they're just re-talking about an old article, but a team of Japanese researchers reported that they had demonstrated that cats could recognize their own name in a series of spoken words. Yep, we know that. In a paper, quizzed domesticated cats on the names of their fellow felines for whom they cohabitated. 29 of the cats were residents of Japanese cafes, coffee shops, and 19 came from other places, people's houses. For each cat participant, researchers played an audio recording of the cat's owner calling another cohabitating cat several times in a row. After the fourth call, the researchers showed that the participant cat in the picture on a laptop monitor. In a few of the 4 trials in the picture, blah, 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 the researchers found that the house cats, but not the cafe cats, often stared at the monitor longer when incongruous pictures were on the screen, suggesting the cats had their expectations violated, and when trying to grapple with the fact their feline friends' names and faces did not line up. Like, that's not such and such. What are you talking about? That's the best. What do you think, Darcy? Oh, you like it? Cool. All right. So, demonstrated that cats expect a specific face upon hearing the specific name of a companion. This study provides evidence that cats link a companion's name to the corresponding face without explicit training. That's cool. That's cool. Oops, too many backs. Cheetahs, Earth's fastest land animals. We already know that. You can't hide from your cat, so don't even try. Cats create mental maps using audio cues, scientists have discovered. Oh, they'll sit in fake boxes. That's funny. All right, we'll cover 2 more articles and then we'll be done. Your cat is probably keeping track of where you are, even if your feline friend isn't in the same room as you with you and can't see you. Scientists recently learned that domestic cats can create mental maps that tell them where nearby humans are located based on where sounds are coming from. The researchers tested cats by playing recordings of human voices calling the cats' names. Then they played those recordings again, this time through a speaker in a different place, so the same sound came from further away. The cats acted surprised when the familiar voice came from a location that they didn't expect, based on what they already heard. This suggests that cats spatially orient their unseen human companions using audio cues. Sometimes I just think research, I don't know, I guess they got to prove it out, but this would make sense. How would they hunt and keep track of predators around them and just everything? Like, we do it. We got to keep track of a million things around us and everything going on so that, you can be ready for stuff. And I mean, some are better than others, but so that's cool. They just basically proved that's something. Makes sense. Seems plausible. All right, last one. are too socially inept to be loyal. Oh, that's the best. That's the best. We're gonna go to this one. The box one's cool, but this is best. So cats may be too socially clueless to understand when someone is not being nice to their owners. In the cat world, there's a saying that you should keep your human friends close and your human enemies, well, just as close. That's the takeaway from a new study that shows cats, unlike dogs, will gladly accept food from people who are not nice to their owners. So they did a study where they had cats get fed from people that weren't being nice to their owners. It is the best. Cats are like, we don't care. Food's food. We get to survive. So now, does that show that cats are smarter, or it does prove loyalty, but I don't know. That's interesting. Are they selfish? I don't know if I would consider them selfish, but that's so funny. And then, does that mean dogs? Does loyalty provide not selfishness just on that, or is it have to do with? I don't know. It's really interesting because we would never be able to understand what they're really thinking, but that's funny. Very, very funny. All right, that's all I got for today. It looks like we don't have anything else planned, but we do have a show on Wednesday, show on Saturday. I'm sure I can just throw something up real quick. Let's see. Let's see. All right, let's try this real quick before we go. Duplicate. Switch this to Wednesday the 6th, 6 a.m. Ooh, what do we want to talk about? What happens when a blockchain folds? What happens when a... I might change this, but blockchain turns off. There we go. Refresh this. There we go. So, yeah, Wednesday we'll do a show, and then let's see, we could probably just make another quick one here. Do my housekeeping while I'm live on the air. And let's go to here. And we'll... I'm gonna change the title, obviously, but this is fun. Yeah, that should be good. And there we go. Now we got some shows. So, yeah, so we got some shows coming up. Wednesday, Saturday. If anybody has any suggestions for topics, articles, or would like a guest spot, where you could always be we would always take anybody that wants to show up on our show and have an avatar, or if you just want to be a voice, please reach out and we'd more than likely let you come. Just depends. We might have to do a pre-recording and then play it, and then we'll talk about it. It just kind of depends, but we'll talk about it if you are interested. So everybody have a nice weekend. Have a nice weekend, Darcy. I hope that you made it home safely. Well, you probably did. It's odd that planes crash. So, all right. Talk to you later. Bye.